got an email one Sunday morning asking me to write a poem, and I thought, what? That's wrong. I want it to be more around sort of looking up. I got this email asking me to write a poem, and I thought, but I'm not a poet, what do you want about? And they said they wanted it to be for a poetry book. They were putting together an anthology of poems for kind of 8-year-olds plus. So that's kind of elementary, primary school age. They said they wanted the poem to encourage self-esteem. And I thought, And then they had a list of various poets that were already agreed and being involved. And I thought, oh, they're quite proper poets. And so I thought, no. So I was just about to email back and say, look, I think you've got the wrong person here, you know, because I'm not a poet. And then this idea just popped into my head, and I thought, wait a minute. So I just fired up my word processor and started typing. And I suppose it took me about an hour or something with the idea, working it out. And now I look at it, actually, I think it probably needs a bit of editing again. But anyway, if you want to know what the story, if you want to know what the poem is like, you'll have to click here and go to my Patreon site, where I'm going to put in all these kind of background videos and things like that now. And that's where I'm running my art school from, so you can go and find out all about that there as well. And so yeah, and so I sent it off. I sent my poem off, not thinking much, and the lady who's organising it said, "Whoa, that's great! That's just what we want." And so I said, "Oh, I suppose you want an illustration as well." And they went, "Oh, that would be great." So I thought, well, I could do an illustration for it, and at the same time, it could be a video on YouTube. So I want this. So this kid is kind of staring at a star, and so what I want now, this is always a tricky bit with young people and children, is shoes. I mean, shoes are always difficult to draw, but children are like puppies, so their feet are much bigger in proportion to the rest of the body. So it's looking not too bad. I've been having a lot of trouble doing this illustration and I don't know why. I think part of it might be the eyes, so I'm just going to try doing just dots, whereas I've been doing kind of like semicolons up until now. I think the dot works probably a lot better. I'm going very slowly around there on the chin. Normally I whoosh and go all the way around really fast, and then I get it wrong. So this time I'm taking my time. This is, now, I've done this so many times now, this illustration, because it's always the things you think, oh yeah, I'll just do that really quickly, and those are the ones that always go wrong. And I've tried doing it in one way, and I think it was a problem. I was trying to be too clever, I think. So this time I'm going to try and do it in a different way. And again, if you go to my Patreon page, I might just let you see all the ones that went wrong. The last one I had to fix in Photoshop, and it was just all wrong. And just take, it's my habit to just do do that really quickly. And I think it's a bad habit that I have. I just go whoosh, and then I get it all wrong. And I'm trying to force myself to really slow down now when I come to the tricky bits. And I think it's a kind of I'm trying to think what the word is. I'm trying to kind of pretend that it's not really happening, I think, you know. So I thought if I do it very quickly, it'll all go away. But of course, if you do it really quickly, it's just going to kind of make a mess. So it's actually, it is much better to take your time. Going through all my psychological problems here now. So. So this is looking about right, I think. Then you tend to get these big bumpers around there, don't you? I'm going to put in kind of what do you call it? Velcro straps there, like that. I think it's trying to make them look so that they're kind of need to be really cool, reasonably cool, but timeless as well. So I think it's very easy for illustrations to sort of date by putting cool modern trainers and things. Whatever's in fashion right now is not going to be in fashion next year, and your illustration will date. Now I want him looking at a star, and I'm thinking that we can do something like that. Now I am drying this with my hairdryer to make sure it's completely dry, so that when I erase it, all the pencil lines don't, ink lines don't smudge. Rather, get rid of the pencil lines, but we don't want the ink to smudge. And then I'm going to kind of block this in very quickly. So I'm going to ink this. I'm going to paint this in mostly. Of course, I could do this on Photoshop. This is not meant to be put in a picture frame or anything like that. This is intended right from the start to be an illustration in a book. And we're going to want some shadow here. And this is where I've gone wrong so far. Putting too much shadow in. And I think in doing this, having done this so many times, I realised that I do go much too fast. I scribble. Which I think is not good. It is in some cases, but not all. I am being very quiet while I'm doing this because it's, I think a lot of the time when I'm illustrating and talking, then it's using two entirely different parts of the brain, and that's when it all goes wrong. I guess some people can do them together, in which case one of the things you're doing is on autopilot, or maybe both of them. So maybe while you're talking, you're just filling in the space, and filling in the silences, and while you're illustrating, you're just filling in the white space. Now I'm going to put a little bit of kind of shadow underneath there. Except use my graphic line painter. Put some more stars in. And I'm just going to put this in here. There we go. And sign it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you like drawing people, then why not go and have a look at my How to Draw People's playlist, or try the mystery drawing. Either way, make sure you click that logo and subscribe on YouTube for lots more drawing videos, and go and see my Patreon page and get step-by-step sheets and lots more, and hear the poem as well for this video. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.